Man, it's a hot one today. It's like 6 o'clock. It's still hot out. I'm only in a t-shirt and it's still crazy. I'm still sweating. Oh, come on. Muscle. Hashtag relax at Dakota. Yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy. I'm talking to you. See, I just picked up this 32 gigabyte micro SD card. So now I'll be able to take videos in this. So it'll be pretty banging. Yeah. It's gonna be funny when people see me talking to myself. They're gonna be like, what the heck is he doing? Moving his arms around and stuff, but it's crazy. He's just crazy. But that's just the way I am, I guess. Look at that 350Z. Speaking of which, there's a really nice looking 370Z right up the road right here. It's I don't know, it might be my next dream car. Sitting right there. That reminds me, one time we were going to my car, and this was just after I got this thing installed on my helmet, and one of my friends was sitting in the passenger seat and he was imitating what I'd be like. So obviously he's sitting there with his arms going, all bent over in my front seat, passenger seat. And we're going on the highway and we got stuck behind some traffic. So when we got out of that, he's sitting all crouched over and he's like, boom, 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 like my bike is now for the beginning part. And then he would go up through the gears and he made the sounds with his mouth, and it was just so funny. I just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Ready, ready, ready? That's my favorite part. That moves. That moves. Whatcha? Whatcha? Most of the times when I ride, I don't have anywhere to be. Like, other than just getting this SD card so I could record, you know, other than that, I didn't really have a plan. That's another thing I like about biking. Even with cars too, but it's just better on a bike. Just ride around wherever, you know? The road, wherever she takes you is where you go, man. And even though that doesn't sound too deep, it actually pretty is, man. You know, if life is forcing you out one way, don't fight the current, you know? Don't fight the force that's pushing you. You're just gonna end up tiring yourself out, being more stressed out, and eventually the current's gonna be too strong and you're just gonna get swept away anyways. Now, I'm not saying that just go with the current wherever it says by saying that, even though I kind of just did say that. But you gotta think of it like, you know how as kids we build little dams and stuff? You You know, as you're going down that current, maybe grab a rock or two, force the water to change direction. You know, even though you're still getting pushed, you can change the water's direction in front of you if you throw something ahead or find something to grab onto. Something to change your direction. You know, life like that river that's pushing you, that current, it's constantly moving. It's never going to stop. So you got to go with the flow, but also work with it. You know, I guess that's the point that I'm trying to get across. You know, life is like a river. It's always going to be flowing, so you can't change, you can't fight it. But if you work with the current, the circumstances that are given to you, you know, you put a couple rocks in the way, you find a stick to grab onto, so you can somewhat figure out how to maneuver your body so you can move down this current called life. I feel like that's the way that we should all go about this. You know, don't fight the circumstances that you're put in. There's just nothing you can do about it. The circumstances that are thrown at you, but the thing that you can change is your viewpoint or how you look at the certain scenario. It's just like someone who's going bungee jumping. They could either look at it with fear in their eyes, you know, or they could do it and it's super exciting, you know. Same thing, two different viewpoints. One person had the greatest time of their life. The next person could have had the worst time of their life. The other person who was fearful at first but was excited had the worst time of their life, but then it turned out to be the best time of their life, you know? With life, you never know what's going to happen. Here comes a fellow biker. Look at him. Look at him go. Oh man, look at that. Is that a 4-stroke? I think that is. Woo! Man, you see him? He's really pulling. He's pulling in second gear. Look at that. He's flying.